Hey guys, it's Trisha. Welcome to my channel. I am going to be talking about the books that I've been reading and my thoughts about them. So I have like a whole bookshelf like right behind you guys. Okay, so first and foremost, the most recent book that I finished is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have read a few books from Taylor Jenkins Reid. Like my first book from her that I've read was like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And I was just, whenever I go into like a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, I really go into it like blindly because like she's a really good storyteller, and I just kind of like trust her in her like writing because she's like a pro. And so I was not disappointed by this book, and I love the characters. We follow Mick Riva's children from their childhood to like their adult years, and Mick Riva, like, spoiler alert, has been mentioned like a lot in the Taylor Jenkins Reid world. Like Daisy Jones and the Six, like he shows up there, and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, like that was where he was introduced. And so it was really nice to it was really interesting to hear about like his just upbringing and like his marriage to his late wife June, and like how he just like, spoiler alert, he left his children and like just went on to like go on a world tour and like just like dated anyone and like cheated on his wife, and like his children was just like left alone, and like they were sort of like orphaned. And it was just like a sad backstory to the main character, Nina Riva, which is like the oldest daughter of Mick and his kids, and like he has so many illegitimate children around the world, and they just keep showing up in the book, and I'm just like, anyways, that's a lot of spoiler for anyone who hasn't like read this at all. But anyways, going to my, I think my second favorite book of all time, Before We Were Strangers. I saw this on Amazon, and no one really talked about it on Book Talk, so I was just kind of in it to be entertained or like to be surprised. And like, the back says like it shows you the letter of this mysterious guy named M that he sent to the green-eyed lovebird. And I read this like a couple of years ago, so I don't really remember all of it, but I just remember like I even annotated it. So it's a really good book. Check it out. And then Writers and Lovers by Lily King. I think this is my favorite contemporary modern fiction. It talks about this writer named Casey, and she lives in like Massachusetts. She's a writer. She just lost her mom, and she is working at this really busy restaurant. It's a really hustle and bustle kind of like restaurant. She's like grinding to like get her rent paid, and she meets all of these guys, and it just talks about like her boyfriends and like her past lovers and like her failed relationships while trying to get signed by a literary agent. And there was this part, like at the last pages of the book's chapters, I was just like, I related to her because I'm a writer myself and I'm waiting to get published. And I'm like, I just related to her like journey as well. And like her story. One of my favorite characters, well, not really one of my favorite characters, but he's really interesting. It's one of her lovers named Oscar, and he's a fellow writer, and he's like distinguished, like he's like established, and he's been out there signing autographs, having all of these like book tours. Like he's pretty much established in the publishing industry. And yeah, and they meet, but it just didn't work out. Spoiler alert, I'm just spoiling everything, but it just didn't work out, you know? And, but anyways, I don't want to spoil any more than I already am. So, what else? So, read this book, The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. It's a rom-com book, and I'm not really into rom-com books. I'm a mood reader, so like in the summer I would like read like rom-com books. Like I read like Beach House by Emily Henry and in the summer, and I read like a science fiction book in the summer. But this is a really great book. So it's a story about this two people who are working in London, and they share a flat or like an apartment. They call it a flat over there. And they don't see each other because like he works in the nighttime and then she doesn't work in the nighttime, so she sleeps there. And she works in the daytime and he sleeps there in the nighttime. No, in the daytime. And so they don't really meet. They only communicate through like post-it notes on the refrigerator. But through those like post-it notes, they like fall in love, and then eventually they meet, and you just gotta see it for yourself. And also, funny you should ask, I'm gonna be selling this on my Pango book. So this novel follows a journalist who interviews this like really famous worldwide star actor guy, and then I think it's I'm not like, my sources, it's from everywhere, it's from TikTok, it's from YouTube. I'm not really sure about like the inspiration to write this book, but apparently the author wrote this book based on like an article that she wrote when she met Chris Evans, and like Chris Evans like took her to like meet his mom and like went out with her to get drinks. And yeah, that article inspired this story, but I'm not sure if like the author of this book is the same author as the article. But I just thought it was really interesting like to hear that about the inspiration. I got it, and it's a really great book. It took me a while to like finish it because I had other books to like read, but if you want like a really quick, really like sweet romantic comedy novel, then Funny You Should Ask is a really good one by Alyssa Sussman. And I am gonna be like listing this on my Pango book, so check that out. Okay, I think this is the last book that I'm gonna be talking about. It's called The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. It's a really good book. I was gifted this on Christmas, and it's another rom-com that I read, and we follow this like university PhD student named Olive, and then like she gets into like a fake relationship with a professor named Adam Carlson, and apparently Adam Carlson is an inspiration from Adam Driver, the actor, and it kind of makes sense. So he's like a young hotshot professor, and even though that they have a fake relationship, they fall in love throughout that. And so yeah, just follow their journey in that book, because I'm not going to be spoiling any more of this, because I am really excited for you guys to read these books and like tell me like what you think of them. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. And yeah, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much. Have a nice day.